around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit, where it was the visiting Bucs who were able to come in and win one on the road. Chris Godwin, over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown catch as well. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, but we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side could play mistake-free football the rest of the way. Both of these coaching staffs feverishly making their final plans for the second half. One of these two teams is going to get their first win. And for the call, let's kick it back out to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. So here are the Packers now to take over. They were losers to Philadelphia a week ago. Now they find themselves in the lead as they start this drive. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the ground, Jacobs will get the third quarter started. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
On now is the Packers punter. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this ball is going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run.
To the right side and intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
The Packers offense and running back Josh Jacobs set to take over once more. And he's had his fair share of troubles in this one, unfortunately. This defensive front has wreaked havoc throughout the contest, and he hasn't been able to create enough space to make something positive happen to this point. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game, and I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
Let's go now. Go.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 90 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just a 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances. So they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4 down territory.
All right, ball at the 1-yard line, 4th down. What do you say?
I say go, because if you can't get 1 yard, what's the old adage? If I can't get 1 yard, I don't deserve to win anyway. Tell your team it's that time. Who's going to get down into the trenches, grind it out, and make sure that ball gets in the end zone? Who's it going to be? Let's go do it.
Narvis's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they come through with 3 after forcing the turnover. But CD, 2nd half, you're starting inside the red zone. Obviously, they would have liked 6 out of that.
Absolutely, because that's all you're thinking is how do you get it into the end zone? You want the field goal to be the last resort. In this case, they gave it a great try, but did have to settle for 3.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And we will not have a run back here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 20-yard line. The Colts offense and Anthony Richardson ready for this next possession. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Pass complete downfield. It's Pierce. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 37. That was a fantastic job of keeping that play alive. He had a chance to tuck it. I thought he might.
They work on those situations all the time. This is coached, being able to keep your eyes downfield, keep the play alive, and not automatically run with the football. How about that lesson absorbed, and it turned into a big play?
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Richardson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, But how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
60.
Running straight ahead, Taylor. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Richardson going to change the play here. Second down, another run with Taylor. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9. Here's Richardson to throw. Steps away to his left. He's got his man. It's Pierce. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. Gay's kick is good. And they'll at least get on the board here, still trailing, but 16-3 now. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will